You can never describe the architecture here as consistent. With avant-garde shopping malls and little old shop houses, KL has absolutely everything, including the tallest twin towers in the world. It's the only city in the world that boasts rainforests on one street and massive skyscrapers on the next. Hi, I'm Tim Murphy, your host for Buying Asia, the definitive guide for property in the Asia-Pacific region. In each episode, we'll review every country or city, allowing you to decide whether it's a go or no-go. To do this, we'll look at taxes, currency, mortgages, rentability, saleability, and finally, whether it's even legal to buy. Starting life as a tin mining shanty town, Kuala Lumpur has transformed into the humming metropolis you see before you, flush with a fast-paced economy and diverse culture. In the next 15 years, this population is going to grow by 40%, and by the end of 2030, will be bigger than the size of London. But what makes this place even more interesting is the size of the opportunity. With the Malaysian ringgit undervalued by 51%, according to the Big Mac Index, the size of the opportunity here is so big.
Certainly in this part of the world, Kuala Lumpur is moving very fast. Remember, now Asia is the impetus of the global economic growth. Malaysia is one country that is so fast moving that is beyond any expectation from the European countries. Our Prime Minister is very gung-ho, very dynamic in promoting the country. And in terms of the real growth, it has been undermined.
Okay, so you think next few years, more growth?
Certainly. Over the past many years, Malaysia has always attained over 8% growth. Can you imagine 8%? Well, you in the UK, 1% you're talking about, wow.
And you think the government will carry on the economy, will promote and will continue to help with foreign investment with property?
Of course, the FIC has been relaxed. Foreign Investment Committee has since been relaxed. Foreigners are encouraged now to invest in Malaysia. In fact, we are even giving incentive to foreigners to invest. What more can one ask? If I'm a foreigner, I'm very happy to come over to Malaysia. We also introduced the Malaysia My Second Home program, where foreigners can now stay in this part of the world.
Boasting the third largest economy in Southeast Asia, 28 million people live in Malaysia, and Greater Kuala Lumpur, its capital, has a little over 7 million people. Its racial makeup is 50% Malay, a little over 20% Chinese, and plenty of foreigners have moved in due to the country's progressive stance on fields like technology. With the Petronas Twin Towers, one of the world's tallest twin towers, holding court over 66 shopping malls, it could be said that the city's booming.
Well, the government has been doing a lot of good initiatives where they've actually introduced a lot of new revitalization efforts, and they've been attracting a lot of interest from foreign investors.
Okay, so things like freehold ownership, foreigners can own pretty much anything, right? It's not just brand new property, they can own secondary market property, which is very different from the rest of Asia, right? You don't need to marry a local or anything crazy like that.
Exactly.
You can buy as a foreigner.
Yes, yes.
What are foreigners restricted from buying?
There are properties which are classified as Malay Reserve, and these are the ones which are actually mainly for the locals, for the local Bumi Putra or the ethnics in Malaysia. But of course, freehold, leasehold are open to the foreign investors. Yes.
And Malaysia's been really trying to drive in the silver-haired crowd, right? So
yes.
Malaysia My Second Home, retirement for foreigners from all over the world. Is that working? Is that happening?
Oh, it's fantastic. I think a lot of foreigners have taken advantage of this special effort by the government. All you have to do is actually register and actually place a fixed deposit of a certain amount, and also put in the application. And it's very easy to get through. At the same time, you can even apply for a loan from the local banks.
Million-dollar question, what's happening in the next few years? You've been in the property market a long, long time here. I think we're standing outside one of DTZ's managed buildings, doing a bit of advertising for you, but
thank you.
Where do we see the market in the next few years?
Well, let's talk about what's happening at the moment for a start. I think everybody is aware we are having a slight global downturn at this point in time, but Malaysia have been a bit more prepared for that. We have not seen price crashes or fire sales in Malaysia so far, and prices have been steadily coming up due to the fact that recovery has been quite good for the last 6 months. What we are looking at is that there'll be a lot of new projects coming on board, a lot of choices for investors, And with the government encouraging investment with a lot of liberalization efforts, I think it's going to be great for foreign investors to look into.
And when Buying Asia returns, I'll show you some new properties around Kuala Lumpur. How have things changed? How are your designs changing now?
Well, I think when I first arrived, the interior design industry wasn't really established in Malaysia, so I think it's gone through quite a dramatic change.
Plus, we'll go to Tim's place to see a special investment that I made personally.
It's absolutely amazing to think that you can have a house like this so close to the CBD. Every street in Asia has its Chinatown, and in KL it's Petaling Street. They sell all kinds of different stuff, even Man United boxer shorts. Don't think I'll be buying them. It's a very dynamic culture here, very entrepreneurial and extremely young. It's one of the youngest populations in Asia. So we can't really complain when they try and sell us dodgy T-shirts. Me personally, I saw some shoes here earlier. I'm after a really cool pair of shoes. Oh, here they are. You've got 11 in these. You've really got 11. I've got to have me a pair of them.